Good evening, friends. We have Dr. Vinod Nair with us. Welcome, Vinodji.
Thank you.
Yeah. So very nice to always, have you on our session. And today we're discussing a lot of important news, especially with what's happening between US and China. So the latest is that the US has dominated global technology markets for decades, but China wants to change all this. The world's second largest economy is pouring huge amounts of money into artificial intelligence and robotics. Crucially, Beijing is also investing heavily to produce the high-end chips that power these cutting-edge technologies. Now, last month, Jensen Huang, the boss of Silicon Valley-based AI chip giant Nvidia, warned that China was just nanoseconds behind the US in chip development. So, can Beijing match American technology and break its reliance on imported high-end chips? Now, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has voiced his support to Trump's proposal to impose a very, very huge fee. So, can you, comment on this, Dr. Vinod?
Yeah, see, basically the issue is much more complicated than what we usually observe. Like for decades, as you said, United States had the lead in the world of technology, like computers, internet, artificial intelligence, high-end semiconductors, and the chips that power everything from phones to missiles. No, it was like that. But now in China, the second world's largest economy wants to change that. It is investing billions of dollars to become self-reliant in AI, robotics, and chip manufacturing. See, why this race matters is with every modern technology like AI, robotics, defense, communication, they run on chips. The smaller and faster the chip, the more power is with your technology. So whoever leads in chips will lead the future economy and military power. This America knows very well for decades. Now China is slowly realizing it. So, US always knew China is trying to catch up with them. So, in October 22nd, 2022, October, America started blocking the export of top-end AI chips from Nvidia, like their famous A100, H100 chips to China, only to China. By 23-24, the restrictions became much more tighter, like covering chip manufacturing machines. Initially, they only blocked the chips. Then they realized they will be developing chips by their own. So they started blocking chip making machines, software which are required for that, and even certain companies which could actually finally supply to Chinese defense. So it's all about the game. One is trying to catch up, the other one is preventing that catch up. That is basically a very interesting part of it. They basically want, US wants to slow down China's chip making technology. That's it. And they don't want to, they don't want China to catch up with US, and they want to protect US technology. So that is when now China is responding with a very, like they are creating massive funds. They are launching massive funds. That's one is called big fund, worth over 4 lakh. In Indian rupees, it is 4 lakh crores or around $47 billion to develop only chip factories. In 24-25, they started another called AI Investment Fund for startups and universities. Basically, they are trying to make chips of higher end. See, Chinese companies like Huawei is there, SMIC is there. They have begun their own designing their own chips, but these chips are actually of the middle order. They are not able to keep up with the US chips, but they are actually improving fast. And by 2025, analysts say that is what the person said, nanoseconds behind the US in certain designs, though it may struggle with advanced manufacturing machines. See, China has done a lot of things, but only thing is they are not able to make up the the higher end chips. And America knows it. That is why they are actually slowing down and using every strategy to even make sure that they don't supply anything to China, just like they were actually doing it to India when we are trying to make missiles or the rockets. They were actually stopping that solid fuel rockets. Anything which we will be able to develop that solid fuel rockets, they will prevent. And that is why Nvidia, that Jensen Huang said, we are actually very closely, China is very closely behind us. See, ultimately, the problem is when you are actually cornering somebody, ultimately they will excel. That the same thing has happened with India. To
Yeah.
miss. That is why this guy, this Jensen Huang, is warning US that if you are actually cornering China to a very very small corner, they will work harder and faster. That is a very very important concept which he is saying. See, ultimately it's only a question of time. Always US was running ahead of many other nations because of the money power they had, because of the dollars they had, because they could buy the best brains in the world. But now other countries are actually catching up, and other countries are also economically becoming more powerful so that they can afford, like now India can afford probably very good brains from our own
Yeah.
universities. All our IIT people, IIM people, and all the best brains were actually going to US because they were offering money. Now we are able to do that. You remember recently China came out with when that H1B visa was that 1 lakh dollars were actually announced. China came out with a K visa. K visa means something which is similar to that H1B visa for Chinese people, to so that people will go and work there. So that was, though this guy supported the China American H1B visa, there he was always saying, I agree with the concept, but then if you are making the fee is such a high level, the America will be at loss for two reasons. First of all, they will not get the best brains. Second, their own startup companies, which actually is contributing a lot to the technology and progress, they will not be able to afford them because they will not be able to pay this 1 lakh dollar every. It was initially announced every year they have to pay. So if you ask me where things stands today, China is actually catching up very fast, especially in AI software, robotics, and mid-range chips. But then they want to go to the next level of like high-end graphic PUs, I mean, graphic processing units, design tools, chip making equipment. That is their aim, and I mean, US is trying to hold them back. See, it's all about national security, global leadership, and digital independence. China is well aware of that. America is well aware of that. India is also getting aware about these things because now there are these are the methods by which they actually arrest the progress of the other country, which they are not interested. And they will know very well China, and actually India is also coming up into that lane. That is why the restrictions are being, after Operation Sindhu, restrictions are being imposed to India also. They don't want us to grow economically. They don't want us to progress digitally. So it's actually a natural thing. But I think you can't hold anybody, whether it is China or India. Whatever America thinks, we will overcome. Probably China will also overcome, probably in another 5 years' time, 10 years' time. You can't block anyone permanently. That's what I think about this issue. Naturally, America is worried about China. China wants to set up. That's why they are setting up huge funds. Huge fund means simply to spend on R&D. So that's that's how I see this matter. Very natural.
In fact, yeah. In fact, Dr. Vinod, see, there is one part of media, who, say, actually they say lies about China, and they say that China is not progressing, blah 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 blah. But the strange thing is, in YouTube, there are many people who travel to China, and they give you the
Yes.
real picture of what China is. And the kind of advance that you see in China, in America also, you won't see it. It's that kind of
As in,
progress that China has
I
made.
have
You know.
I have few friends there. So the same thing they tell us. What you hear about China is absolutely wrong. See, they have their own mechanism of their total authoritarian government. So they can implement everything much easier than
Faster.
US or even India.
Yeah.
See, once the government decide, they don't ask for opinion. They don't have a opposition party like ours who opposes everything the government says.
Yeah.
So they
Absolutely.
can progress very fast as long as they have a vision and a mission to handle that. So they are progressing. They are actually very good. We should actually learn from China. Only thing is, it will be difficult for us because it's a very democratic country, unfortunately.
Yeah. Mm.
I
Absolutely.
would say that within inverted commas.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Moving on to the next piece of news, we're talking about none other than Papu, or rather BJP, and BJP and Rahul Gandhi's little fight. Now, BJP MP Nishikant Dubai on Friday demanded that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's diplomatic passport should be confiscated and legal action initiated. This comes after Gandhi's visit to Colombia, where he accused the BJP led central government of mounting a wholesale attack on Indian democracy during an interaction with EIA University, which is Envigado. And apparently, the Gaurav Bhatia, who is a BJP spokesperson, he accused Rahul Gandhi of defaming India on foreign soil. He cited an old newspaper report. He alleged that the Congress leader was partying till 4 a.m. after the 2008 Mumbai terror strikes. So, this is something very humiliating for India when an Indian, or now I don't know whether he's an Indian, okay, when a person like him, who is the leader of opposition, goes and starts talking ill of India, isn't it?
See, absolutely. That's what I said. I said democratic within inverted commas. See, India is the world's largest democracy with over 96 crores of voters. And we have elections which are done regularly. That is the criteria for a democracy, isn't it? Why Rahul Gandhi is able to speak about India like this and able to come back and roam around freely in India, it is only because we are a democratic country and we have freedom of speech. Otherwise, we would have been inside, isn't it? So that is the first thing is we are actually a country with 96 crores of voters and elections are being held regularly is a very important criteria. That is first thing. Second thing is we have an independent election commission. We have an independent judiciary. We have a CAG, that is Computer and Auditor General. And we have a free media which can say anything and get away with anything. No, the media, what I am saying is about media. And see, criticism and debates happen here every day. Whether he is able to do that within India and is going to a different country where there is nobody to raise the points, he can say anything. He can. We need to talk about the other thing also. He said about the vehicles. See, that is the proof of democracy, isn't it? That is the proof that he is able to say this in the other country and come back and again roam around freely. Is the proof that democracy is alive here. It is not being attacked. Now, see, look at the way he said, a wholesale attack. It's a huge exaggeration, isn't it? It's a huge disrespect to the Indian voters who choose their leaders freely, isn't it? Who prevents anyone? See, if you look, it was during 10 years back in UP and Bihar, there were no free elections. Voters even never, there were constituencies where voters are not able to reach the polling booth. There will be goons standing outside and they will be using this thing to put the seal on the papers. Now with the electronic voting and our security is taking care of everything. We have VPAT, we have electronic voting machines, we have so many webcams. Now what has been announced today in Bihar, you have webcams for every polling booth from this time onwards. This time onwards, everything is now going to be recorded. Previously, only in the affected certain booths it was actually kept. But now, from this year onwards, this Bihar election onwards, every booth will be having a webcam. So, see, the most important thing is speaking against India on a foreign soil is absolutely considered as irresponsible. We had Manmohan Singh, we had Vajpayee, who never agreed with the government, but they never used to go like this and speak like this. Now, see, if he is a responsible citizen, he should, like including opposition leaders, is free to criticize the government within the country. But doing so abroad sends a wrong message internationally, and it hurts the India's image, isn't it? So, like, it gives a foreign powers a reason to question India's internal matters. When somebody is going out and saying this regularly on his every foreign visit, that means the others who want to question India, they have a base now. See, your opposition leader is coming here and constantly saying about this. So, this no patriotic Indian should allow such a thing. So, BJP, that is why BJP leaders are saying, criticize us at home, not in your when you are in a country abroad. And I think that even Congress people, I don't think they will appreciate this. Probably they are not, they are afraid to speak about the high command. So they are keeping, we should learn from Vajpayee, we should learn from Manmohan Singh, who was with the Congress. So how respectfully these people were handling these things. So I think BJP's reaction was making a point that his diplomatic passport has to be cancelled. See, whether it is legally possible, I really doubt. There is a provision when you are actually speaking against our country, when you are actually making issues outside so that the diplomatic relations between two countries get affected. There is a provision actually. I have checked. There is a provision to check to cancel this passport. But then usually no government does that, because then there will be it's about freedom of speech and all this will come. But technically, as I understand, it is possible that if in response, if he is collapsing the diplomacy between two countries, it can be technically reversed. Not by anybody. It is not even possible by the government or the court, but the authority which issues the passport can actually do that. That is what I understand.
So, but my question again. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, according to the Passport Act of 1967, allows the government to act in the interest of India's sovereignty and foreign relationship. If an Indian citizen is actually doing this outside in other countries, destroying the India's sovereignty or the concepts of sovereignty, defaming it, and foreign relationship with different countries, we can actually technically do that. That is what the Passport Act of 1967 says. But whether the India government, I know BJP governments are actually making, and BJP spokespersons are actually making a statement that this is not the right thing. That is why I don't know whether they really mean to cancel the diplomatic passport.
That is my question. Again, I think I'm just repeating myself. Why is the center handling him with kid gloves?
See, I don't know whether I heard about the other very interesting thing. He spoke on the same venue. See, he was asking engineering students, what is the difference between a bike weighing 100 kilos carrying two people and a car weighing 3,000 kilos carrying single person? And the answers, I don't know whether you heard about that.
Yeah, I did listen.
My God, people were laughing at him. And he says the bike is more safe because the engine flies away after an accident. But at the same time, in a car, the engine comes into the car and kills the single passenger. I don't see. I'm happy that he is making such stupid remarks there, so that whatever he spoke earlier or after this will go to the deaf ears, isn't it? So I'm happy he has made that statement, because they will be thinking, what the hell this person is saying? I was actually stunned by that comparison. And actually, he was speaking to engineering students and they started correcting him. So I'm happy
So
that he
this,
made that statement also in the same venue.
yeah. So Shanmugam is saying Papu should respect the
Uh,
democracy in Bharat when he's on bail in the National Herald case.
Yeah, yeah. See, he can say anything. He should be allowed to speak. See, I am always for a strong opposition. If there are no corrections from the opposition, or at least the matters are brought to the people's ears or minds and brain by the opposition, probably the ruling party can do anything. That is not the right thing in a democracy. He should be able to. But, no, but you always look at where he is speaking, whichever country he goes. And it's unfortunate that he's going there on a diplomatic passport, and he is the opposition leader. And if you are saying anything factual, it was okay. But look at the way wholesale attack on democracy. What does that mean? What is the wholesale? Does he say that there is nothing good in our democracy? Not wholesale means it's the whole thing is rotten, isn't it? Is it like that? So probably, say, the danger is in today's world of social media and media showing all his speeches, including the engineering skills of Rahul Gandhi, comparing between a bike and a car, and finally trying to establish that bike is always safer than a car because of the weight, because of the engine which is fitted outside, which will fly away. It is actually coming back to him and the Congress. I really don't know. So I'm very happy in that sense that he is leading Congress, not a smart person. He's leading Congress.
It's good for BJP.
Yeah, naturally, it should be the boon. It should be a big boon, no, for BJP.
Yeah. So this is the latest news. I think Ned is remarking on that. Gold plates are being stolen from Sabrimala temple, which has been going on for quite some
Yes,
time, and now it has come
yes.
out. Can you tell us what's going on, Dr. Vinod?
See, our Vijay Mallayya has donated 30.5, more than 30.5 kilos or more of 24 karat gold to actually gold plate the Sabrimala temple shrine. The whole of the walls, the doors, as well as the roof. Then, about that Dwara Palaga Shilpa, Dwara Palaga, it's actually two supporters which are supposed to protect him, protect the entrance. It's called Dwara Palagas. Dwara Palagas. They were also actually cladded with gold. It was done in 1998 by the money which was provided by Malaya, that Vijay Mallayya. Vijay Mallayya, na? The UB group.
Yes.
So, in 1998 or 1999, I think it was 1999, somebody had an idea. Somebody in the Devasam board had an idea that the Dwarapalaga, the way it was cladded it was actually on the rock. These were made on the shilpas were made on the rock. So it has to be first cladded with copper, pure copper, and then with the technology that a fine film of gold plating was not that common there. So with a fine multi layers of very thin gold plates were made, and actually they are cladded to the that copper using mercury, and it was there for 20 years. And in 1999, somebody got a very fancy idea. This gold is getting the glow is coming down, so it has to be gold plated. Gold plated means it's a different technology. So this Dwarapalagas, which were having 1.5 kilos of gold. Now, why I am saying is today in the court, there is a report by the Devasam intelligence about this, and that's why the court ordered a detailed inquiry. And this was actually placed. And the Devasam board said nobody knew about this unless it was after that there was actually a Pamba Sangama, no? Which was conducted by the government. So what has happened? They Retrospectively, all this came out. They actually recorded it as a pure copper plate and gave it to a guy. So he came back with around 394 carats of 395 grams of gold, which was quoted instead of 1.5 kilos, which was there, which means there is a theft that is finally being said, a theft of more than 1 kilo of gold from that two ideals, the coverings. So it actually very accidentally came to the notice of, I don't know, other our viewers are aware of this. Say Sabarimala, because of its importance, all the main things, main incidents there is being under the guidance of a division bench of High Court of Kerala, because there are so many malpractices which are going around. So anything serious has to be done in Sabarimala, they have to get the permission of the court. There is something called a Devasam Board bench. Devasam Board bench for High Court. Permanently it is there in Kerala High Court. So they came to know about this was removed without the information or intimation by the High Court to the High Court. And they asked about it. And then now many malpractices are coming out. And finally the court a few weeks back asked the Devasam Board vigilance, which actually included, but these are actually policemen. And the court has to get a detailed report on this. And today morning, they gave an interim report to the court that there is actually loss of gold from the Sabarimala, these ideals. And there are another set of doors which are again sent to Bangalore or Chennai. For that's actually the company is known as Smart Creations or something. So to electroplate these two things. The interesting thing is what the Smart Creations is saying is they will electroplate only on pure copper things. They will not touch anything which is already plated with gold. That is how our media were smart enough to identify, pick out this. And they released and exposed the whole incident. So actually gold-cladded things were sent out and came, and what reached the Smart Creations factory is pure copper. So somebody has removed it. Now, who is responsible for that? Whether it was the Devasam Board or the person who took this, the investigation is going to find out. So today around afternoon, High Court of Kerala has said they designated a 5-member special investigation team to look into all the discrepancies of Sabarimala. And it is good that the whole thing is directly under High Court's order and supervision. And they have said, you should not release the investigation report. They have been given 1 month. And they said, the report has to come to us and we will take necessary action. So it's a very good thing which has happened for Sabarimala, because people have been looting Sabarimala. Imagine, say in Kerala, Devasam Board controls the government. See, Devasam Board, which is under government control, which is actually a non-believers government, Marxist government. They are controlling the whole thing. And in Sabarimala, the amount of donation they get, around 450 crores at least a year. And that too under direct supervision of division bench of High Court. From there, if this can be stolen, you imagine what about the other temples which are happening in Kerala.
Yeah.
So
also,
this is a very big issue, and I think court will find a solution. So that is
also, Dr. Vinod, see, social media is full of jokes, because Kerala earlier had a gold scam case, and the chief minister's name, Pinrai's name, his full family were dragged into it. So everybody is joking. I mean, how can you even ask this question? Where did the gold go? So there are so many jokes. So now I think Pinrai is also on a very fragile,
See, basically elections are coming. That is where I am worried. Since the elections are coming, will there be a manipulation? Because, see, there were some board members are being directly appointed by the government according to their choice. So most likely, see, if the golden cladded copper plates were sent out as copper plates, pure copper plates, who allowed that? That is a big question everybody is asking. The vigilance is asking, now the court is asking, now everybody, the whole media is asking. And that too, that is actually, see, when you go for a darshan in Shabarimala, you see Ayyappa as a flash. They will push you out. But these Dwarapalakas are always outside, in front of the cameras, in front of the video, in front of all the bhaktas. When that can be labeled as copper, with all the documentation, because the 30 kilos were used for the entire 30 kilos of 24 karat gold. What is the cost of 1 kilo gold now? Even 1 pavan, 8 grams cost around 85,000 rupees, isn't it? It's such an expensive thing. It has become such an expensive thing. And from a temple like Shabarimala, if people can steal it, you imagine what is the state of affairs about Devasam Board. And people have allowed it. People have not recorded what was the weight. People have not, when they came back, they have not weighed it. They have not found it. And it happened 4-5 years back in 1999, when accidentally, 6 years back, when accidentally High Court came to know about that. After 6 years, now they are saying so many things. And they, how it has happened. They wanted to give the thing again to the same person. And that, this time, it caught the attention of the High Court. So he asked, why you are taking it out? They said they want to repair it. What has happened to it? They said there was some problem with the last thing. When was that? It was in 1998. We never knew about that. That is how it came into. So they removed the plate. I know. Probably, unfortunately.
So, this is not very surprising because Dr. Vinod, you remember in the Padmanabha Kshetra, they put an amicus curiae to get into the walls of the Padmanabha Kshetra. For what? I mean, why were they so, adamant that they should get into the last vault? Because there were so many gold and precious stones and everything inside it. Who had an eye on it? So this is all not surprising at all.
Christian temples and churches are not churches and other like the wealth entities of the Christian people. Christian entities are not handled by, it is handled by the Christians. Muslim, Waqf board, and there are many other Muslim institutions, they own it. Why is that Hindu temples are owned by a government, and that too a non-believers government? That is very important. See, they have no faith in that God. That is why that the same government which actually allowed the ladies to go, they purposefully in the middle of the night they allowed ladies to go there. No, there was a huge, I don't know whether you are aware of this, there was a huge issue back in the same year, the same 1999, 98-99. And probably they say it is Ayyappa's deeds which is coming back to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
With full force.
Moving on to another piece of news, Vinodji. See, we are talking about Vijay, and Tamil Nadu police have registered a case against the driver of actor-politician Vijay's campaign vehicle in connection with an accident that allegedly occurred while the vehicle was on its way to the September 27 rally in Karur, where a stampede claimed 41 lives and left over 100 injured. The campaign vehicle of Vijay's party, which is TVK, has also been named in the FIR, officials said on Sunday. Now, something seems very hanky-panky, Dr. Vinod, because this man did not even have the guts. He's a coward. He did not even have the guts to go and visit the people who were injured or to give any sort of consolation. And it was BJP who sent, their emissaries, whether it was, people like Hema Malini and her complete group. They were all sent to, find out. But this man never went there till it became safe. And on top of that, he has absolutely no qualms about, pointing fingers at others.
See, this is another big political game going on in Tamil Nadu. Vijay was a very, very popular Tamil hero, and he has a lot of followers. And unfortunately, this thing happened. He can act according to a script. I agree. I agree to that. But this
Yeah.
was an unfortunate incident where an unexpected 41 deaths happened. Like it was a retrospective number, but still, so many people died, and he got panicked. He did. The script was not there on how to act. That is when a matter of the a leader comes out. No, how to respond to that. He just took a flight to Chennai. See, initially he was the number allowed was 10,000 people, but then there were at least 30,000 people there, and they were waiting. They started assembling from 7:30 in the morning. The meeting was supposed to be at 12 o'clock in the noon, and finally he came around at 7:40. See, imagine these ladies with their children standing there to see their hero for 12 hours in sunlight, finally started fainting. And when he came from the with that big vehicle, they are actually moving, allowing him to come in, and there was actually a big stampede after that. So unfortunately, he didn't know what to do. He was not, as you said, he is not a leader. He is not a seasoned leader. If he was a seasoned political leader, he would have definitely gone to the hospital. And he was actually making very interesting statement. It's our ambulance coming with our flags and all. So immature behavior. Probably is not an experienced
Yeah.
leader. First, political leader. Second thing is not a leader material. See, anybody can act with a script. How people reach in our sort of acting, anybody can do with the correct spec and a lot of training, and if you have godfathers. That's all what I say. You should see English movies on if you want to really want to see the real acting. I was just last week I was just writing about there is a new series which is called Black Rabbit. The way they have acted in that limited series, people, I think our actors should go and see these things. So what I'm saying is I can act according to a script with everything around, with actions and retakes, and see, in life there is no retake. That is where things have gone wrong for him. He panicked. He went. Now he wants to come back. Then there is a whole thing has a whole scenario has changed. And
Yes. Yes.
now, see, DMK was always afraid of Vijay's popularity because he is a very popular leader. We must accept that. And when they got an opportunity to put him down, they done that. Now they don't want to file a case against Vijay. You know why? Because they think there will be a sympathy wave after that. So they are also playing it very smart. They have taken about the local leaders or probably the state leaders of Tamilaga Vetri Kazhagam, and also about for the driver of that caravan. What stupid concepts are there? If they want to arrest him, they have to arrest Vijay, but they don't have the spine.
Courage.
DMK doesn't have the spine or the courage to arrest him because they think he will get the sympathy wave.
It will backfire.
So, see, it's pure dirty politics played by everyone. That is unfortunate thing. And these sort of things will work. What to do about that? You know, about that accident which has happened on the way. There are thousands of bikes. It's at least 1,000 bikes which were accompanying very close to the this caravan on their road. I saw that video. One person just went under. I think he just escaped a crushing under the tires.
Yeah.
And that was a case which was been charged about that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What to do?
Moving on to the next piece. Advisors to Pakistani Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir have approached US officials with an offer to build and run a port on Arabian Sea. The Financial Times reported on Friday, citing a plan seen by the paper. The plan envisages American investors building and operating a terminal to access Pakistan's critical minerals in the town of Pasni, according to the newspaper. Now, Pasni is a port town in Gwadar district in the province of Balochistan, which borders Afghanistan and Iran. The move comes after Munir, along with Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, held a meeting with Trump at the White House in September. In that meeting, Sharif sought investment from the US companies in the agriculture, technology, mining, and energy sectors for investments. Now, the strange thing here, Vinodji, is that they've forgotten all about India. and the Pahalgam incident and the Sindhu, the attack by India. So now they are busy trading with Donald Trump. Isn't it very amusing?
No, no, I think strategically it is not as simple as that. No, why they are doing this? Let me see. You must have seen few days back their Field Marshal Asim Munir showing a box of rare earth metals like a salesperson. No, along with him was Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. When they went and met the President Donald Trump. During that time, the officials or the officials of Asim Munir talked with the officials of Donald Trump of White House about this port. They want to build. They want US to build and operate a new port terminal, Pasni, a town on the Arabian Sea, in the very same Baluchistan, very near the Gwadar
Yeah.
Gwadar port is actually built by Chinese. So they want a very port in the same area, in same that Baluchistan, very near to Gwadar. Why? Because they want to balance, because China, they will take over because it's not working properly. That port is having a lot of issues. So they may feel that China will take over that port. So to balance the power with balance the Chinese power, they want to connect with US. If this is happening, they have two ports. One is handled by China, the other one is handled by US. See, these ports have a dual purpose. They can also, though they say it is only for commercial purpose and for not for military purpose, during difficult times, it can be used as a naval port also. Now, they think India will be little apprehensive to strike, like we will be striking Karachi and destroying it. They think they still will have this Gwadar Gwadar seaport handled by China, and this Pasni seaport, which is handled by US, we are afraid to strike. But you know what has happened in Kirana Hills and what went wrong there, isn't it? So what I am saying is, one thing Pakistan is doing is to reduce the dependence on China, because the China is going to tighten its noose. Second thing is, they are in a very severe economic crisis with very high debt and low foreign reserve. So attracting US investment is crucial for them. And for the US, it is actually a strategic counterbalance to China's influence in Gwadar. So they might be interested. They are not agreed to that. US has not said yes or neither yes or no. So what they are saying, they are actually under consideration, but it is of very strategical relevance to India, because these two ports are very close to Arabian Sea and our Western Seashore, isn't it? So another thing is, this may provoke China. So there are many things which are under play for this proposal. I don't know what US will do, but we should be very careful about these two ports developing very close to our place, our Arabian Sea and near our western border. That is what I would say. Yeah, we should be very, very careful. We may have to upgrade our naval force. We may have to upgrade our intelligence and reconnaissance of these two areas.
Yeah.
And we should be watching what.
Yeah. Praveen is saying after Vietnam and Afghanistan, Americans were afraid of body bags. Now Donald Trump is making sure of the body bags in future for Balochistan, is what he's saying.
See, I don't think. See, no. Why China is not able to do anything in Gwadar airport? Because Balochistan Liberation Army is destroying them. The same thing will happen to US also. So if US is in sane mind, they will never start a port very near to Gwadar, because they know what is BLA is doing there to what Chinese people. China is literally left that area because they are actually hijacking Chinese people and killing them. If they see a Chinese person in Baluchistan, they will kill him. So that the same thing will happen to US personnel also. If they are smart enough, they will not open. But then they have their own interest. No, this Baluchistan is a very mineral rich, that too rare earth rich province. And definite, I said no to make this semiconductors, AV batteries, defense material. This rare earths are very important. You remember China has actually blocked the export of rare earths to rare earth magnets for the electric vehicles to America, no?
Yeah.
And actually they were negotiating with America on the basis of that. So it's actually a big game basis going on. And we must also see our recent statement about Sir Creek, which is very near to this place. Our Rajnath Singh has said no, because they are actually increasing the military position or their defense equipment and personnel around Sir Creek, which is very near to this place. It is actually the border between the China and border between Pakistan and India, and there are some movements. That is when our army chief has said, next in operation, if something goes wrong, the geography of Pakistan will change this time. Operation Sindoor 1 and Operation Sindoor 2 will be totally different. There is a very, very big threat, which was usually India never makes such threats.
Yes.
But this time, 3 persons, our Rajnath Singh, defense minister, the air chief marshal, as well as the defense head, the army head, said about this. You be very careful what you do in Sir Creek region.
Yeah.
A very interesting thing. If people are interested, they can go and look up.
In fact, Dr. Vinod, I think one thing that Pakistan is very scared of is the good relation between Balochistan and India. Because I remember even about 5-10 years back, they were reaching out to media like us to support them. And they are people who find India a very friendly country. And the kind of torture and, they have suffered under the hands of these Pakistani army. They've used, also what you call, poisonous gas to destroy them. They have, tormented them. They've raped their women. So all this has happened, and they find India is one of their friends. So this is what Pakistan is most scared of.
One more thing, we must accept the most important fact. Britain has agreed Balochistan to be a separate country.
Yeah.
In fact, that in August 1947, Britain has already agreed that Balochistan will be a third country. Yeah. But then Pakistan army invaded and actually annexed it to Pakistan. That also we must be aware of this history.
Yeah. Ned is saying they're planning to hit Reliance's refinery with the consent of USA.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. They are making ties with Saudi. They are making ties with US so that they have another chance to. They will never stop trying to hit us. Next time they hit us, that's what Rajnath Singh was saying. Probably your geography will change. Be careful. India usually never makes such threats.
Yeah. So one last candid shot from Praveen, who says some news on Juta Gate in SC, where a man was going to throw shoes at the Chief Justice. So this man is saying, we are used to all this. We are not scared and all that. This judge seems quite, a very different kind of person.
So probably it was an after effect of a statement which was made by Supreme Court, casual statement which was made by. There was actually a lot of issues following that even in social media. And this advocate, 71, probably a poor old man, got provoked by that. And in fact, Supreme Court has said there should not be any case against him. But I think the Bar Council has taken a very serious view of that and he has been suspended. That's what I understood. Supreme Court judge said, leave him. Even the police actually released him after that.
Yeah. So with this, we end this session. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod. Very interesting session. And we'll see you again next week with a lot more news. Good night. Jai Hind.
Good night.
And Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.